Welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive. Today, we're diving into, well, a really fascinating challenge facing the All Blacks right now. It's all about their scrum-half situation. Injuries are hitting hard. But it's not just who's out. It's the surprising solutions being talked about. Some real left-field thinking. This deep dive is your shortcut to understanding the strategy behind the scenes in top-level rugby, even when things get tough.
Yeah.
And hey, if you enjoy this kind of insight, make sure you subscribe to Rugby Obsession. We do these deep dives regularly.
Yeah, definitely. And our chat today, it stems from a great piece by Colin Newbold, came out August 4th, just recently. It features some really sharp thoughts from All Blacks legend Jeff Wilson. What's great about it is how it shows that constant, strategic thinking that goes on, adapting, innovating, even with major setbacks.
Exactly. So our mission today is to unpack all the suggestions, the strategy, give you a really clear picture of the planning involved. It's about how teams react under pressure and how one injury, well, it can spark a whole load of interesting tactical debates. So let's get straight into it. The immediate problem for Scott Robertson.
Okay, so the scrum-half position, number 9, it's a genuine worry for them right now. Heading into the Rugby Championship, they're missing two main guys, both looking like they're out for at least the next few weeks. Injuries. And that's, well, it's a big hole. Pivotal position.
And we need to stress who these players are, right? First up, their number one choice, Cam Roigard. Jeff Wilson says he really set himself apart, been in fantastic form. Yeah, losing him is huge. And then there's Noah Hotham, the talented young guy, also sidelined. So you lose your top pick and your up-and-coming option. That's a depth problem, plain and simple. What's the immediate knock-on effect then?
Well, straight away, Cortez Ratima moves into pole position. He's now, very much the favorite to start against Les Pumas. And to give them some cover, they've pulled Finlay, Christie, and Kyle Preston into the training squad. That quick reshuffle just shows you how urgent it is. They've had to pivot fast.
Okay, and this is where Jeff Wilson's analysis gets really interesting. He's known for thinking outside the box. He suggested something he even calls left field. But it makes you think. His idea, using Damian McKenzie, the fly half, as maybe a third scrum half option on tour.
Yeah.
Especially thinking about a two-test series. A fly half at 9. That's unusual.
It is unconventional, yeah. But Wilson's logic, it's quite compelling when you hear it. He reckons McKenzie has what it takes to do the job.
Yeah.
He points to McKenzie's ability to just, get the game, understand the plays, understand the calls. That's vital for a 9. Plus, his fitness, his conditioning, top notch. Non-negotiable for a scrum half. And, crucially, Wilson mentions his good passing game. Now, he admits, yeah, it's a bit left field, and I'm not sure they might take it. But he puts it out there as a real valid option.
That mix of skills is interesting, definitely. But let's dig into that a bit. What are the risks? McKenzie's brilliant at 10, a playmaker. Moving him to 9, even just as cover, that changes things fundamentally, doesn't it? What challenges would he face that a specialist wouldn't? What might the team lose?
That's the key question, yeah. His pass is good, like Wilson says, but is it that consistent, rapid-fire delivery you get from, say, an Aaron Smith? That speed from the ruck that dictates everything in Test rugby, the whole attacking rhythm. And then there's the defense. 9s are always in the thick of it, tackling forwards. McKenzie's fit, sure, but that close quarter stuff, navigating the defensive line near the ruck, it's different from playing 10. And another thing, if McKenzie's covering 9, well, who's covering 10 then? It sort of creates a domino effect. So, yeah, it's a potential solution, but it brings it some complexities.
Right, so high reward, maybe, but definitely high risk too. But what makes Wilson's idea maybe more than just a wild guess is, well, it's not totally out of nowhere in elite rugby, is it? We've seen something similar before with the Springboks. Can you expand on that? Why does that make this idea seem more plausible?
Exactly. The Cheslin Kolbe example is incredibly relevant here. Kolbe, we know him mostly as this electric winger, right? But he has actually played scrum half at Test level. But the big one, the thing that really cemented this kind of thinking, was the 2023 World Cup final. He was lined up as the direct scrum half cover if Faf de Klerk got injured. Think about that. Not just any game, the World Cup final. It shows top teams are willing to use that extreme versatility when the stakes are highest, assuming the player has those core skills.
Wow, the World Cup final.
Yeah.
That really drives the point home. And Wilson even points out the All Blacks themselves have done it before. Done this at a Rugby World Cup, he says. Okay, maybe it was against a minnow, but still, it shows they've still have the faith in the skill set of a player to adapt. So it suggests it's not completely alien to their way of thinking historically.
And if you look at the bigger picture, this kind of strategic approach, it's really quite revealing, isn't it? It points towards, a modern rugby philosophy, getting the absolute maximum out of your squad, being adaptable when things go wrong. It highlights the need for players to be versatile and for coaches to think creatively, to think outside the usual boxes. What's really fascinating is seeing how these elite teams manage their depth, especially in such a key spot like 9, sometimes using skills that aren't immediately obvious.
It really is a chess match, isn't it? It makes you wonder, what does this push for extreme versatility mean for, say, younger players coming through? Are we moving away from pure specialists? Or is it just an extra layer needing to be great at one thing but pretty good at others too? And how do opposition teams even prepare for that kind of unpredictability?
That's a great point. I don't think specialization is dead, not at all. Coaches always value that deep expertise. But the game now, it's so physical, so fast. You need players who can adapt. So development probably needs to focus even more on those core transferable skills, pass, tackle, decide, skills that work across positions. And for the opposition, yeah, it makes their homework harder. You can't just look at the team sheet. You have to think about the what ifs. What if he moves there? It adds another layer to analysis, definitely. Shows the value of an adaptable squad.
Okay, so the strategy side is fascinating. But this scrum-half issue, it isn't Jeff Wilson's only worry for the All Blacks, is it? He mentioned something else, a sort of deeper concern about players coming back.
That's right. His other main point of concern is around players like Versatility, Tamati Williams, Peter Lakai. They're all back in the squad now, but they missed the whole July series against France through injury. And Wilson's question, which is, a really pertinent one, is how ready is a Versatility going to be? It's not just about being past fit by the medics. It's about being truly rugby fit, match ready.
That's the million-dollar question, yeah. Are they going to get enough game time in the doubleheader versus Los Pumas? Enough time to be properly match fit for the massive Springboks clash at Eden Park? Because that's a huge game. You need guys not just available, but firing on all cylinders. No doubts about their fitness or form.
And this highlights that really delicate balance coaches always have to strike. How do you get returning players back up to speed, give them game time without risking re-injury or, a poor performance when it really counts? It's a real tightrope walk. You want your best guys out there, but not if they aren't ready for the intensity. It brings in player welfare, form, tactical readiness. It's all interconnected. It's complex management, not just physical, but mental too.
Yeah.
Getting back into the systems under pressure.
Totally. Getting back from injury is tough physically, but mentally too, especially with the pressure of Test rugby. Needs careful handling.
For sure. Teams have protocols, phase returns, gradually building intensity. But the test calendar is tight. Sometimes guys get thrown in quicker than maybe is ideal. So for someone like Sakiti, the question isn't just, can he play? It's, can he play full intensity for 80 minutes against a tough Puma side, then back it up against the Boks? It's a massive ask.
Okay, so we looked at the scrum half problem, Wilson's interesting McKenzie idea, the Kolbe precedent making it seem less wild, and these wider worries about match fitness for returning stars. It's a lot to juggle for the All Blacks camp. Now, we want to bring you in. What stands out to you listening to this? That McKenzie idea genius? Or too risky? How do you think top coaches handle these injury crises just before big games?
Yeah, we'd genuinely love to get your perspective on this. The scrum half situation, player readiness, it's all part of the game's constant puzzle. Your thoughts really add to the discussion.
Absolutely. And hey, if you are enjoying this deep dive, please do subscribe to Rugby Obsession. That way you won't miss future episodes where we break down the strategies and stories of the game.
So just to quickly recap, we covered the immediate 9 crisis for the All Blacks. Jeff Wilson's quite bold suggestion about McKenzie, drawing that line to Kolbe with the Springboks, and also those broader concerns Wilson raised about match fitness for guys like Sataidi, Williams, Lakai ahead of some huge tests.
It really shows the layers of strategy and adaptability needed at the very top. So here's a final thought for you to chew on. In a game like rugby, so physical, so specialized, how much should pure talent and athletic ability maybe override specific positional experience when a team's really in a bind? And what are the sort of long-term effects if teams keep using these left-field positional solutions? Does it change things down the line?
Fascinating question. No simple answer to that one.
Definitely something to ponder. And remember to subscribe to Rugby Obsession for more rugby insights and analysis. Thank you for listening to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive, and we'll look forward to listening to our next episode.